Hi guys, Chris and PJ here live in the Dream Giveaway Garage.
Happy Thursday to you, sir.
Day before our super happy Friday, PJ.
Yeah,
and
you got
all
the
our fans out there.
Got the lights on. You got some lights on over here.
Right.
You got lights on over here.
Yeah, tomorrow, big grand prize award ceremony. Warming up the Pete Townsend windmills for tomorrow.
Yeah, what do we got going on? We got that
I'll tell you,
65
classic
Resto Mod.
Vet 65 Resto Mod, riding on those Vision wheels. And let's talk about that big check for a minute, because there are some Easter eggs on the big check, right?
Yeah,
PJ?
well, most people don't realize that number 144, the check number here, is the 144th DreamGiveaway.com winner.
Got it.
Down below, obviously, we've got the 2024 Classic Corvette Dream Giveaway, what it was.
Right.
But we also have down here the 160, and that was the ticket certificate confirmation number.
Okay.
The winning ticket number was
Winning ticket number,
174-2552.
And then back to
again,
144, of course,
right.
the winner in the Dream Giveaway Garage.
And this is a nice little hard.
That's nice. And what's on the back side?
On the back side, we've all signed it here. So if
Here,
you're
I'll
the
hold it
lucky
for you.
winner,
Yeah, look at
you
that.
can get a chance to see our
Signed by the whole Dream Giveaway team.
and anybody who's in the office for that week. But,
That's
yeah.
right. So congrats to Ken W. We haven't seen him yet. He didn't come in early yet,
No,
did he?
not yet.
So we hope to see him. Well, we know we'll see him tomorrow morning, because the show starts at noon Eastern. And people ask us all the time, how come we never see the winners?
We see them.
We see them, and that means we're putting them on YouTube, and that means all you have to do is go either to the YouTube page for Dream Giveaway, or watch your live ceremony on Facebook, or go to our winners page at dreamgiveaway.com, and you'll see all the winner photos there.
Or wait for the email that comes out that shows the winner.
Or wait for the email that has a picture of the winner. So any way we can think of, just send you information showing the winner. We do it each and every giveaway. That's not just, oh, let's do it this one, but not that one. We do it every time there's a winner.
Now, people do ask, why didn't I get a phone call? Like, unfortunately, we don't call you if you're not the winner, because I would be calling a lot of people. And Roger did say congratulations to Kenneth W. of Texas on your beautiful Corvette. We appreciate that, Roger.
That's correct. A lot of winners
putting that out
from
there.
Texas now. I don't know the number, but a few.
It's not the highest, but it's up there.
It's up there. And from Minnesota, Brian S. I spoke to him today, the winner of the Ford truck. I've got to tell our audience the story I told you earlier. Is that okay?
Sure.
So Brian S. is from Minnesota. In the 1960s, and I don't know if the plant is still there, Ford had a truck plant. And guess what? This is just so amazing. Just shows you that how things are sometimes meant to be. The truck that he won was built at a Ford factory. We know that part, of course. 5 miles from his home.
That's amazing.
Absolutely amazing. 5 miles from his home. And he almost cried when he told me. He said, Chris, it's just, the truck is meant to come home. I said, that's so cool.
That's right.
That's
is cool.
so cool. And you guys are always a winner. Every time you help out those 8 great charities. And let's see all those dream giveaways at dreamgiveaway.com. Ending soonest, 1968 GTO. And Lori in our office is a big fan of someone called Old Blue Eyes. Who would that be?
Good old Frank Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra. And so I was doing a little bit of homework, and I didn't realize that Frank did a commercial for the Pontiac Motor Division of Frank getting in a brand new 1968 GTO convertible. PJ, roll it.
All right, let's see it.
Steady, ladies, steady, steady. You know how I cruise. Bye-bye. Why didn't I learn how to sing?
When you've got a Pontiac GTO with 350 horses doing that thing, who needs to sing? That's a breakaway.
There it is.
Yeah, there you go. Just a 30-second spot there, but you know, that was kind of fun seeing Frank back from the Rat Pack years helping out Pontiac for the 1968 GTO. Speaking of, right behind me, I wonder if whoever bought this car new saw that commercial with Frank before he went out and bought his 1968 GTO? I probably won't know the answer to that, but I will tell you that this one has 33,000 original miles on it. And PJ, we had a question earlier today. How can it have original miles and still be restored? So I'm going to answer that.
That's a good question, Chris.
It's a great question. So original miles doesn't mean the car is all original. It simply means that the miles are original, that it hasn't rolled over, right? So back in those days, the odometers had 5 digits plus the 10th. So the 1/10 digit there off to the right. In this case, this has 33,000 original miles. However, it also was the recipient of a frame-off restoration, a rotisserie restoration back in the 1990s, focusing on originality. That means because the miles were so low, they didn't have to put new seat covers on it. They didn't have to put new gauges in it. All that's factory issued. New paint, of course, and they freshen everything up. They put the numbers matching engine. We think it is, so we never guarantee that. They put that back in as well. PJ.
Larry West says, I always enjoy watching these old clips, so it's fun that you brought those in.
So do I. And I think today's TV commercials for cars aren't nearly as cool as the old ones. There is one notable exception. Anything that Dodge puts out, right?
Yeah.
Those Dodge commercials are really, really good.
Mike Brown on YouTube says, the GOAT. I don't know
Absolutely.
if he's talking about you or the car.
No. And don't gloat if you're the winner. But GOAT is a play on the acronym GTO. So if you rearrange those letters, you put that O before the T, and you put the word letter A in there, suddenly you've got the word GOAT. That's literally why they call it the GOAT. But they also, you know, GTO stands for an Italian phrase that I never get right, Gran Turismo, and then I never get that O correct. But people would then say that it either stood for gas, tires, and oil, right?
Right.
Or for, they used to call it the Great One. And yeah, so they're taking that GT and coming up with another word, so they'd call it the Great One as well. So a couple names for the GTO. And GTOs like this, you would have seen back on TV shows. Pontiac was great about getting these onto sitcoms in the 1960s. You would have seen GTOs on My Three Sons, and you would have seen GTOs on I Dream of Jeannie. Didn't know if you knew that or not. And I've got to do this again because it's so much fun. You ready?
All right, let's hear it, Chris.
Oh, here we go. Love it. Love
Solid.
it. That sound of the door. So great. All GTOs that are convertibles come with power tops. Unlike the Firebird, the power top is a standard feature in the GTO, even all the way back to 1964, the first year of the GTO. So what's your favorite generation of the GTO? Is it the second gen from 1968 to 1972? Is it the first gen from 1964 to 1967? You know, the 1973 doesn't really count as a generation, it's a 1 year only. And then in 1974, it's a 1 year only style as well. So maybe the third generation doesn't start until 2004 to 2006, when the GTO was imported from the great country of Australia and the motor company of Holden, which was owned by GM, and imported into the USA. PJ.
Roger has a question and says, why are Pontiacs so great?
Roger.
This could be an hour-long session here.
This could be an hour-long session. So, you know, so much of what has to do with what makes Pontiac so great is that they were the underdog for so long. That Chevy was the big brand, and so Pontiac had to try harder to come up with things to be cooler, to be faster, to be wilder. And that all happened when Bunky Knudsen took over as a general manager in the late 1950s and brought on a chief engineer by the name of Pete Estes, who then went on to be the GM for Chevy much later, and a young startup engineer, a guy by the name of John Z. DeLorean.
I mean, what do they do? Kind of change the design, the engine?
Absolutely. And Pontiac knew when Bunky came on board that in order to sell on Monday, you had to win on Sunday. And he was putting Pontiacs, souped up Pontiacs, in the hands of the racers out there in Daytona Beach and elsewhere. And started a reputation of Pontiac being the car for those who wanted something a little wilder than a Chevy. Now listen, I get it. A Corvette, especially a big block Corvette like the one we have here, beautiful car. And even John DeLorean went on to be the general manager of Chevrolet after he got promoted from Pontiac in 1969 and went over to Chevy. And then, of course, he left in the mid-70s and started the DeLorean Motor Company. But, Roger, to answer your question, what makes Pontiac great? They're Pontiacs, Roger.
Mike Brown on YouTube says second generations are the best.
Second gen, 68 to 72. Okay, any other comments on that? Anybody prefer that first gen, that 64, 65, 6, or 7?
Mark says on Facebook, always loved 67, best tail lights.
Yeah, 67 is a real clean looking year for the design. Only thing I don't like about 67 is that you still can't get a tri-power. 66 is the last year you could get a Pontiac tri-power. Only the Corvette could get tri-power after 1966. And not just Pontiac had tri-power, Oldsmobile had it on its cutlasses on some of the W cars. And then, of course, Chevy had it as well.
Jeffrey says, does the Vette have AC? And
It does have AC, and not just
over there, yeah.
AC, but it's a rare big block AC car. This is not aftermarket air. This is an NCRS top flight scored car. Has won top flight 3 times. And yes, that is a factory AC setup there. The GTO, on the other hand, as PJ pointed out yesterday when he observed a blank spot on the firewall.
There is no AC.
GTO gets its AC from the top down.
Roger says Gen 1, his favorite.
Gen 1, yeah. I'm a big fan of the Gen 1s as well.
Terry says, I loved my 72.
You know, and I got to tell you, 72 is a cool year because in 71 and 72 you could get a GTO with that 455 HO motor and a ton of torque in that engine as well. Change the cam and put some headers on that 455 HO and you got a pretty rock solid street machine. So great years again for the GTO. All General Motors in 1973 moved from that real curvy, great looking A-body to what they call the colonnade style from 1973 to 1977. And in retrospect, those of us who are in the automotive journalist segment, not all of us think that it was really improvement. You know, GM under Bill Mitchell really got the A-body right from 68 to 72, and especially from 68 to 70 before the engine compression started going back down.
Now, Chris, tomorrow we have an award ceremony that's going to be happening
It's
out
going
there.
to be tomorrow, yeah.
And right over here is a big sign here. And
Right.
every one of our award ceremonies, we are always welcoming people here to come on in and check out the award
To the
ceremonies.
Dream Giveaway Garage, if you're in the Tampa Bay area.
Anthony
Be
has
sure
a-
to swing on by. We've got a free lunch, so
right.
come on by. Now, people, you ever hear the saying, there's no free lunch? There is. It's at Dream Giveaway Garage tomorrow at noon.
That's right. Anthony, who might not be around with us quite a bit, doesn't know so much about the drawings. You know, he wants to know how the drawings are. Basically, how does the whole system work kind of thing.
That's great. So you donate, you go to dreamgiveaway.com, you enter to win by making a donation to a nonprofit charity organization, the sponsor charity. At the end of the sweepstakes promotion, an independent accounting firm will draw a lucky ticket number. That ticket number does not, the accounting firm does not see your name, your state, your age, your height, what you had for dinner. All they see is the ticket number. They give that back to us. We match it up to the name of the person who made that donation and has that lucky ticket
And
number.
they verify that.
Right. And then we call the person up, whether they they had 1 ticket or 1 trillion tickets or whatever they had to help out the charity. And that's the winner.
That's right. And
That's how it works.
And we don't know who's going to win, but you know, your name's going to be up there in our banners.
145 winners have been chosen since day one. The ceremony is for 144 tomorrow. And we are setting up for later on this month the winter ceremony for the classic truck, that Ford F-250. And we're hoping that the winner for the Demon will have enough time to make it here to Florida as well. We'll know that winner a week from today.
Mike from YouTube says, PJ and Chris, you guys have the best charities and even better giveaways. Well, certainly it's amazing. There's a whole group effort going on in all those offices areas over there.
Is. And that's why the whole Dream Team comes up on stage when the ceremony concludes to congratulate the winner. Because it takes a great team to put all this together. It's not just PJ and me, I'll tell you that. It takes a whole lot of people here who know what they're doing and to keep this running smooth.
Mark says, can't forget the last generation GTO with the LS Absolute Beast scary car.
Correct, 04 to 06 started in 2004 just with that LS1 that you could have gotten in a Corvette or in a Trans Am or a Camaro Z28. And then in 05 and 06 that engine moved over to the LS2, 364 cubic inches versus the 349 in the LS1 if I'm correct. And those are great cars. Plus the 05s and 06 GTO have the dual scoop hood. Very reminiscent of both the first gen and the second gen. 04s have a flat hood, and I've asked people who were there, and they don't know why. But 05, 06 have the cool scoop hood as well.
Larry West says he's still waiting for us to give him a call so we can help him with the first winner of Colorado.
First winner of Colorado.
Yeah,
I'd love for you to be the first winner of Colorado.
That's right.
That's great. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, we need to get ready for a big award ceremony tomorrow for that classic 1965 Corvette. I promise you there will be a tear in poor PJ's eyes when that car goes rolling out, because it was PJ's favorite car in the whole garage.
And
PJ?
I believe you even played Frank Sinatra inside the Bluetooth
That's
stereo.
right. PJ, you're already tearing up. You guys can't see.
But you know my next favorite car, so we're good to go.
I know
for
your next favorite car, and we're good. All right, guys, we will see you tomorrow with the award ceremony for the Classic Vet. And you have 7 days and 10 hours left to get your entries to win this 1968 Pontiac GTO convertible, 4-speed, 400 cube, posi track, though Pontiac calls it safety track, 33,000 original miles. This one's a keeper. Get your entries at dreamgiveaway.com. We'll see you tomorrow with more great fun, more great action, more great grand prizes. It only happens here, where we keep a tissue box. Our favorite place on earth.